Okay, good evening, everyone. Just to let you know that this will be recorded. I am Christine Osceola. I am a franchise specialist with FranNet. Thank you all for attending our webinar this evening. We have two presenters that are going to explain about two businesses that can be run semi-absentee. But before they begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about FranNet and some franchising facts. Who is FranNet? FranNet has been around for over 29 years. We have over 80 offices, 3 in Germany, and we just opened 1 in England. We help potential entrepreneurs find a franchise that fits their profile at no cost to them. Many people are here looking for a business that can thrive in any economy. I get asked all the time, what is the most popular franchise? So we are looking for those few businesses that can thrive now and down the road. Right now, we see healthcare and the senior care markets as one of the strongest markets out there. Census data that goes out every 3 years says that 25% of the population is over 65 and 25% is under 25. There's your residential repair. People aren't buying new homes. They're repairing the current ones. Old people can't. Young people don't know how, and the dual income households don't have the time. Then there's also your child development and education, also driven by demographics. Then there's the essential services like your hair care. You have supercuts that would charge $15 for a haircut, or your automotive. People are fixing their cars and keeping them a lot longer. There's your damage restoration. Your house gets damaged, mold, smoke, damage, fire. When this happens, someone needs to clean it up. Homeowners call the insurance company. Then there's the business centers, your IT services, all to help develop small businesses. Some of these businesses can also be done semi-absentee. Franchising isn't just fast food and retail. Just some overall facts on franchising. There are over 3,000 different franchise companies and more than 300 different categories with over 900,000 operating units. Some popular categories would be pet care, cleaning, retail, and IT services. Can you make a burger? I can, and I know it would taste a lot better. It's not the product. It's all about the business systems. When you purchase a franchise, you purchase the marketing, the sales, the operating system. You do this so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can focus on building your business. Some people think franchising is very expensive. You have some that are $50,000 to $100,000, like your education and healthcare. These can be run from home, few employees. Then you have your $100,000 to $250,000, which would include some retail, auto, and some food. Some can go up as high as $500,000, like your big food franchises, McDonald's and Burger King. Typically, you would need to put 25 to 30% down on the business. We do provide some financing options, whereas you can use your 401k or get an SBA loan. At the end of the day, it's all about finding the franchise that best fits for you. You want to look at your 5, 10, 15-year goals and use franchising as a tool to help you get to your lifestyle and financial goals. I'm going to wrap it up here. My contact information will be at the end. If you would like further information on either one of these businesses, I would need you to fill out your personal franchise assessment. Then the franchisor will be able to give you further information on the business. If I already have one, I will put you in touch with the franchisor. I will be following up with everyone and emailing you the link to my assessment. Please hold your questions to the end. Now I'm going to introduce Karen as she presents our first business, which is Office Evolution, which is a business center for home-based businesses. Karen, give me 1 second. I have to unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Christine?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, first off, thank you, Christine, for inviting me. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about Office Evolution, and welcome to everyone on the call. We appreciate introducing you to our franchise opportunity and hope we entice you to want to learn a bit more. here we go. It's just a different system for me. So Office Evolution, what is Office Evolution? We started in 2003. We are based here in Denver, Colorado. And we started with 8 company-owned locations and really experimented with technology, size of the space, employees, until we really felt we had a model nailed down, and that's when we knew we could replicate across the country, and we started franchising in 2012. Actually, the tail end of 2012. It was January of 2013. Now we have locations all across the country, either open or under development. And I have to apologize. I just discovered this is an older map. We are licensed in all states, so disregard Virginia, Maryland, and I think it's Rhode Island. So we are available everywhere. You can't talk about Office Evolution without speaking of our founder, Mark Hemmeter. Great guy, great values, and really brings a lot of passion to the business. He was born and raised in Hawaii in a real estate and hospitality developer family. So from an early age, he had a real love of real estate. And so what he found is when he was officing out of a virtual office himself, he saw things that really could be improved. He saw things he liked, and he saw things that could be much better. And that's when OE was born in 2003. And it combines those passions of hospitality, technology, and assisting entrepreneurs. So when you talk about Office Evolution in a real basic format, you're talking about physical space, and you're talking about different kinds of clients. So it is a space where there are executive suites, people that have private, fully furnished offices. They can have their phone calls professionally answered or go right to their phone in their office. And you can see there's other services listed there as well. When you look at the virtual offices, that's a little bit different. These are people that don't have a permanent office with Office Evolution, and they utilize our services in a number of different ways, but they have unlimited drop-in capabilities to come in and utilize the business center, use our Wi-Fi, perhaps reserve a conference room. And that's the third section there. Our conference and meeting rooms are available to both groups. They can use them for the whole day or by the hour. And so it's a real professional place where small business people can meet. And I mentioned that Mark Hemmeter is a very passionate person. He really believes in culture. So Office Evolution is much more than a physical space. It's really a culture, and it all starts with the word ohana, which most of you probably don't know what ohana means, but it's the Hawaiian word for family, and not family in the sense of your biological family so much as family in terms of a united cause. And so our cause here, and what infiltrates through our whole franchisee organization, is the support of small businesses. And so that permeates everything. And then this value wheel, transparency, we really believe in honesty and integrity and keeping things simple. So our agreements with our franchisees are simple. With the members that are in each of our centers, it's all very easy, kind of, well, like the Southwest of the airline industry. And we believe in collaboration. We have a great system, but we recognize our franchisees can add value. They have life experiences, so we're always looking for collaboration from not only our franchisees, but we hold a lot of networking between our members as well. Ownership is key, and not only do we own our business, but our franchisees are owners. Most of their clients, our members, are owners of their business. And really, our employees take responsibility and ownership, especially the business center manager, who we'll talk about in a little bit. Win-win doesn't really need too much of an explanation. I have never heard of anyone that wants to develop win-lose relationships, but we really believe that we can make a system where everybody can win. And the goal is to have a nice balance with your work and the other aspects of your life. So who are our members? This is our niche market, and this really leads into how we do everything. So it's white-collar, home-based professionals, people that need to meet with clients and need to meet in a professional setting. So as you look down this list, you probably think of people you know that might be an attorney or a financial advisor. They're typically people that are 35 plus years old. It's a real stable group of people. They've proactively chosen to have a small business. They're not looking to grow. They're not an incubator company where they're going to suddenly get a lot larger. So they're a very stable client base for our business centers. So here's a few testimonials from 3 of our different clients. The common theme that you'll see as you read through these is the flexibility. It's the support of the small business, the support of the entrepreneur, and a real welcoming, flexible environment. And the second person here is the CEO founder of a small company, and you can see that they started out with an office and they kept the office. They love the friendly receptionist and feel like it's worth every penny that they're spending. And the third place really highlights one of our differentiating characteristics. All of our members, whether they have an office or if they're a virtual member, have 24/7 access not only to their office where they're signed up or their office location, but every location across the country. So that is really a great benefit as we build out our system. So those are 3 of our testimonials there. And you might wonder why everyone's excited about Office Evolution, what makes them stay with us for an average of 5+ years. And one of the key reasons is the business center manager. This is what we call the receptionist, or the person out front. This person is the one key employee that can run your business. And you can see the personality characteristics listed here. Somebody who has a passion, again, part of the Ohana, for entrepreneurship. They are a little bit salesy. They can do walkthroughs of the space and sign up new members, and they're empowered to make decisions. So when we talked about ownership, this is a perfect example. When they give tours, they're often heard to say, this is my copy room and this is my conference room, and things of that nature. We help a lot with finding this one great employee. We have assessment tools that we share with you, and we've done this assessment for all our current business center managers. So when you look at how your employee or potential employee rates, you can really see how close they are to what the ideal person would be. So it gets you behind the resume to really find out a little bit more about the person, if they'd be a good fit. The second reason people love their Office Evolution location is the space itself. And so we really recognize that if someone's a home-based business, they might in the past have run out to a Starbucks or a Panera's, and so they really like that ease of use, someplace they can get to quickly from their home without a long commute. So we really want to build out our offices to be just as easy to access, yet of course more professional than these Starbucks or other places people could go. So it's usually in a suburban market. It's about 5,000 to 8,000 square feet, and this is a sample floor plan, usually 19 to 25 offices, and then the shared space of the conference room and drop-in areas are included too. So we like it to be first floor, again, because we want it to be, they can park the car, get in, get out, be close to amenities like restaurants and retail, so that it's a real attractive place to go to work. Some of the ways we differentiate ourselves, I think I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the physical space, that we offer a lot of services. So for you as a franchisee, we have streamlined a lot of the services that normally you'd have to provide in your own office space. We have a centralized call center here in Denver, so we handle all the inbound calls. That frees up your business center manager to not have to handle that. And we do all the client billing, so administratively you don't have that on your plate. And our technology is enterprise-wide, so we have the same technology across our whole system. making it really easy to open and operate on an ongoing basis. So that's all well and good. I thought I'd let you just read here quickly. These are two of our franchisees that have given testimonials. Suhash is actually in Somerville, New Jersey. And so you can read here a bit about his words of why he chose Office Evolution. And again, it's the support of the small business and the passion for helping people run their businesses and being flexible. And our second testimonial is from Coley. He's in the San Francisco area of California. He never had business experience before, and he really credits the support of the team we have here. Our management team really works with our franchisees through every step to get them open and help them be successful as they grow their business. So why is OE a great franchise opportunity? And really, when we ask our franchisees, these are the results we got back. They love that it's a streamlined business where they really truly can run it on a semi-absentee basis. There's a recurring income stream because once you have the offices full and you bring people on as virtual office members, as I mentioned before, in Colorado, the average length of stay is 5+ years. So you really have not a lot of turnover, which is great. And it's a really growing niche, so it's going to be around for a long time where people need to have a place where they can get out and work outside of their home. It provides really good quality of life, and I won't go through every one of these things, but the nice thing about this business is it is a business where you're working, it's 8 to 5 hours. It's not retail hours where it would be evenings or weekends. It's low risk, and you're not dealing with a lot of things in some businesses that can get kind of messy, like minimum wage employees or food or handling cash and inventory. So that makes it really nice. So a little bit about the financials of our offering. The estimated total investment is right around $200,000 to $250,000 for the first location. We usually find it's a little less on the second and subsequent because our franchisees have learned a lot. They have less attorney fees and things of that nature to get started. In that amount is our franchise fee of $45,000, so that's not extra, and then it's $29,000 for the second location. And then the ongoing fees are the royalty of 7.5% and the 2% national marketing fund. The exciting thing is as we continue to grow, the time to get your business center open is decreasing all the time. But currently it's running right around 7 to 10 months where from signing the franchise agreement, your business center is opened, which is exciting. So these are some statistics that we've pulled and really represent why this is such a growing niche and why it's going to be around for a long time. I won't read through all the facts, but any reports that you look at are showing that entrepreneurship is a growing trend, and even corporations are moving out of the big buildings and looking for flexible solutions for their employees as well. And we're super excited about Christine's area. This is a screenshot of our mapping tool for the New York, New Jersey area. We have this sophisticated tool that helps us to identify where a given office could be located based on demographics. I'm not saying we'd open this many offices, but you can see the tremendous opportunity that we have in the New Jersey, New York area. So again, this is sort of reiterating the same things. It's a very simple model to open and operate with really strong centralized infrastructure. It's a semi-absentee opportunity. All of our franchisees currently have another full-time job or are running another business alongside their Office Evolution. The recurring income, of course, is great. And it's a relatively low cost of development for a retail opportunity. So next steps, I would encourage you to talk to Christine. I would love to be introduced to each and every one of you, and we would go through this 4-step process. It gets exciting. Of course, we need to be a fit for you, and you need to be a fit for Office Evolution. So we work through all that, culminating in bringing you in here to Denver for our Discovery Day. And that's a little bit about us. I'm encouraged to hear your questions at the end. And again, Christine, thanks so much for inviting us to participate.
Thank you very much, Karen. And the next business we have is an Upscale children's salon, and this would be Kim.
Hi there. There it goes. This is me. It's nice to meet everybody this evening. I'm Kim Ellis. I'm Vice President of Development for Snippets, Haircuts for Kids. We are, as Christine mentioned, an upscale children's brand. We are an interesting model. I love this model because it is serving an underserved niche in our development of salons. I come from a background of franchising and salon development, and what I am most excited about is, in this particular case, we have, as anybody that has kids can probably relate, this is kind of how the typical children's haircut goes. Most parents think that it's going to be this milestone of an event, and when they get to the haircut, they realize that it's really not. It's anything but. And the child is traumatized, and in many cases, the parent ends up becoming traumatized as well. This is exactly what happened to our founder, Joanna. Joanna Masalis is from Boston, and when she took her first son for his first haircut, she brought along her video camera and thought that it was going to be this wonderful milestone opportunity, and it was anything but. So she figured there had to be a better way. She spent 3 years researching the hair industry, and she realized 3 things. Number one, stylists hate doing kids' hair because they were never properly trained to do kids' hair. Number 2, kids were frightened by the whole process because nobody ever explained it to them. And number 3, parents will pay a much higher price point for a convenient location, a quality service, and a happy child. Hence, Snippets was born. So in 1995, Joanna opened her first salon in Framingham, Massachusetts, and by 2002, she had 5 successful salons and started franchising in 2003. This is a example of one of our salons. You can see that it is clearly a very memorable branding experience. Joanna is actually notably the granddaughter of Jack Benny, and her father was an Academy Award-winning director. So she used the exposure to the entertainment industry to really create a very whimsical, interesting cast of characters. They all, any child that walks into this environment can automatically feel welcome. Frankly, it gives me a headache sometimes when I walk in because there's so many things going on in here. But when a child walks in, it's almost like seeing a child walk into Disney World. It's that immediate reaction of sheer joy, and that's where, what we always say is at Snippets, kids aren't just welcomed, they're celebrated. So first, let me see if this will move. There it goes. So first, parents are encouraged to take a seat in the cutting station. You can see on the right side of the photo on the left, you can see that one of the key differentiators for our business is having a parent chair in the cutting station. And so the parents are encouraged to actually be seated in the cutting station to offer the support to the child and direction to the hairdresser. The second piece of that is the child is entertained, which you can see on the monitor up here, with video games and sing-along featuring our cast of proprietary characters. The stylist is then able to provide a quality service without having the crying, squirming, struggling child, and everybody actually, leaves with a great quality service and a fabulous haircut. So haircuts are actually the bread and butter of our revenue stream. They are our core business, but we also offer specialty services like spa services, ear piercing, retail, and we also have parties. Here's an example of what our parties are like, and as you can imagine, it's pretty fun for the kids. So if you think about a group of 6-year-olds, which is what you're seeing here, this is a glamour party where they get to pick out their princess dress. They have their hair done and makeup applied. They get to walk the red carpet, and it's a very fun atmosphere. The spa services offer manicures, pedicures, and facials. Obviously, it's not your adult version. We don't really worry about crow's feet at the age of 5, but you never think it's never too early to start. The parties are actually a great opportunity to employ, let's say your local cheerleader. Anybody that has that great spirit, they're super fun, kids love her, they are going to have such a great time, and they look up to that kind of a person. So that's an interesting piece of the business. So this kind of brings us full circle. The whole piece that Joanna realized is that for kids' hair care in particular, there's 3 components, and her whole model is based around this triangle of success. It has to be fun for kids, it has to be convenient for parents, and it has to be rewarding for the stylist. So we've actually created a very strong and well-positioned franchise model, and we're in the process of launching a new salon footprint. So just a little history to go backwards. We started in 95. We started franchising in 2003. In 2008, we actually moved the company, we recruited Jim George as our CEO. He comes from a background in salon services and franchising. He actually took the reins and moved the office in 2009 to Minneapolis. Joanna realized that she really wasn't a seasoned franchisor, and with due credit I give her, she actually decided to move the salon, move the business to Minneapolis, and with that they were able to actually recruit a whole new leadership team. In 2010 through 14, they really focused on improving operating systems, support, unit economics, modernizing and upgrading the salon design. And in 2015, we launched a new footprint design and also reduced our costs associated with it pretty significantly. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So here's some franchisees of ours in Charleston, South Carolina, and they just opened their salon. It's a great little shop. Hang on one second. The current history, or the current situation with our company is we have 67 locations open in the U.S. 3 of them are corporate salons, 1 in Massachusetts, 1 here in Maple Grove, Minnesota, and 1 in Connecticut. We have 43 franchisees and 28 franchise agreements pending opening. So we're pretty busy in terms of new salon opening build-outs. We're very concentrated in the Northeast, obviously, because we started there. And we also have a lot of salons in and around Dallas and Houston. But as I mentioned, we are very well positioned for growth. One of the key pieces that I like to point out is There are 40 million kids in the U.S. Each has an average of 10 haircuts per year. That's 400 million kids' haircuts annually, which represents about $6 billion in annual market potential. When you think about that, you recognize that there's certainly a great opportunity here, but then you add into that the fact that there really are only 3 other companies that offer kids hair care in the U.S., and they are Pigtails and Crew Cuts, Sharkies, and Sweet and Sassy. None of them are as large as we are. We are the first. We have the deepest and widest breadth of experience. We've been doing this, as I mentioned, for almost 20 years. Most of these, all 3 of these have opened in the last 7 years. They are half our size and half our age, I guess is a good way of putting it. So we really haven't found anybody that competes on the same level. The other part of this is we are a very upscale brand. We're not going to be on every street corner. We're not going to be a Supercuts or a Grey Clips. We're really much more positioned to upscale markets. So when you compare our branding and our service platform to these other brands, we're really much higher positioned and can deliver upon that brand promise. Some attractive business attributes with any salon business. It's pretty easy to run. This is not rocket science. We're talking about essentially a cash business. Somebody comes in, they get a haircut, and you have no receivables. There's multiple revenue streams. There are, as I mentioned, the 5 different areas that we offer our franchisees to really focus on driving that top line. We have our own exclusive retail products that are formulated specifically for children and carry our brand name. We don't sell those online. They are only offered in the salon, which creates that nice repeat business for our franchisees. It is a very proven, established franchise model, not only for us, but most of the franchised salons in the United States have similar semi-absentee multi-unit models in place, and they've been proven to be very, very effective for franchise ownership. We have an amazing support team. They are very personal and responsive to our franchisees. We have a proprietary web-based management portal that provides all of our franchisees the opportunity to manage their business 24/7 from anywhere. You can log in and see exactly what your business is doing at any time, and it provides the important information you would need to make good, informed business decisions about the business at any given time in real time, because the POS systems in the salon actually interface with a financial web-based financial dashboard. We have integrated localized marketing programs. What I mean by that, we have marketing programs that spans everything from print media, traditional types of door hangers and exposure opportunities, to cross promotions with other kids types of businesses, to a very, very robust, comprehensive social media platform, allowing our franchisees to manage all of their social media accounts from one particular platform. We have email opportunities and email marketing opportunities and an entire manual with grassroots marketing. Some additional attributes for the franchise. As I mentioned, we are looking for multi-unit, semi-absentee ownership. It is an upscale model. We offer a 5-mile protected trade area, provided that we have a minimum of 20,000 kids under the age of 10. We do also have a similar type of platform that Karen was talking about with her model, where we can identify exactly where we want to put our targeted trade areas. I happen to know that New Jersey, New York is one of the best in the country because of the density of population and also the significant numbers of kids under the age of 10. It's just phenomenal to see the opportunity that some of those markets represent. We have really no real estate issues. If you've looked at the salon industry in the past, you might be kind of gun shy in terms of snippets. Every salon in every franchise salon has some issue with real estate because there are a salon in every single inline trade center, retail center across the country. So it's really hard to find real estate. With us, we don't experience that because the adult salons really do not want to do kids' hair, and they welcome us. So we've had very good luck finding real estate and coexisting with other salons in the same retail centers. We have great franchisee validation. In fact, we were named to the Franchise Business Review Top 50. They surveyed over 13,000 franchisees across the country. Our franchisees were among them, and we were rated among the top 50 for the child sector and child services sector, and we're pretty proud of that. Our franchisees are doing well and are very excited about growing our brand. And finally, we have very comprehensive discovery steps as well. I have a platform that lays out our entire franchise model and allows our candidates to walk through a linear process to gather all the information they need to make an informed decision, and it walks them through in their own time, new salon opening, marketing, training, support, recruiting. We even have pre-recorded validation calls that they can listen to before they actually do one-on-one validation. Ultimately, we invite candidates up to Minneapolis to meet the team, and ultimately, if it becomes apparent it's a good fit, we'll go forward and execute agreements. So it's a pretty well laid out process for our candidates to make a good informed decision on franchise ownership with snippets. I mentioned our support team. So we actually have a very much a team approach. We have each franchisee assigned a support team that includes a team leader. They walk you through all the steps associated with site selection, construction, operations and recruiting, marketing, grand opening marketing, and ongoing marketing. And then we also have, which is kind of unusual in franchising, we have our own field financial analyst on staff. He is 100% of his time is based on helping our franchisees become more profitable. He is the numbers guy and keeps all the stats and has the ability to run metrics and key performance indicators for all of our salons and provide a ton of feedback and identify opportunities to keep our franchisees' business growing. As you can see, I have here a pretty significant numbers of combined years of salon industry experience and franchise experience, which really help our franchisees feel comfortable that knowing that the team that is supporting them have essentially been there, done that. They know how to really run this business and be successful at it. So here's our investment. The salon is going to range, a single unit will range between $115,000 and $206,000. Now, this investment range is obviously a pretty significant range. That is because we have two different models. We have a large standard salon that has the party room and the spa services. It's a 1,200 square foot location, and typically we'll go into those lifestyle power centers. We have smaller salon, which we call our express unit, and that only has 3 cutting stations and does not have a party room. It's much more streamlined and really only offers core business of haircut and retail products. So there's a fairly good range between the top and bottom range of the investment level, and that's why. We also have incentives built in. So our single unit, at least currently, is $25,000. And if you were to do a multi-unit agreement, the development fee is $50,000. A 5-pack is $75,000, and anything above 5 agreements is just an additional $10,000. However, I think it's fair to note that at this point, our fees, we're in the process of refiling our franchise agreement and, our franchise disclosure document, and that is done every year. This is the first year since 2003, our inception, when we've actually raised our fees. And so we are, because we are in a pretty significant growth mode, we have decided to increase our fees but continue to build in that incentive for multi-unit. So again, the $35,000, the single fee will go from $25,000 to $35,000. Our 3-pack goes from $50,000 to $70,000, and our 5-pack goes from $75,000 to $100,000. Anything additional will continue to be $10,000. The Snippets franchisee comes from all walks of life. We have investment, the Vice President of Investment Brokerage for Ameriprise, to other small business owners that have other types of businesses, to marketing executives, to CPAs and insurance brokers, mortgage lenders. We have all kinds of walks of life, but it is a great opportunity for husband and wife teams. They seem to be able to bring to the table a nice balance between the role of the franchisee, which is the marketing and customer service piece, and the financial running the business and managing expenses. Our franchise candidate is likely going to have a net worth of $500,000 and liquid capital of $100,000. We prefer college educated with at least 5 years of business experience. We want somebody that's ambitious, driven, and can lead by example. We want tough but fair and respect and empathy for others. Those are part of our core values. And we are looking for people that want that ground floor opportunity. They recognize that this has a niche product and service for their community and will become it might become a great opportunity to fulfill their long-term goals. Typically, we're going to see an initial number of days or initial investment in the role up front with the new salon opening piece is going to be a little bit more significant, but after the salon is open, really the focus is about 2 to 10 hours a week. Our salon also does a ton of work with different types of fundraising and charitable events like autism, Cookies for Kids Cancer, Locks of Love. It's a great way to make a community connection in your area. And that's really it. So I would love the opportunity to have a chance to speak with you, certainly through Christine.
The conference has been unmuted.
If there's any additional questions I can answer or get you started in our discovery process.
Yes. Anybody have any questions? Okay, there is a question. How do people finance the investment?
We, for either of us, or?
Well, I guess you could each take a turn answering it.
We work with a company called FranNet, and they have some great SBA-backed funding opportunities. We are on the SBA registry, so we're a little bit fast-tracked in terms of SBA lending. That means that we've already been pre-approved by SBA. FranNet offers a couple of different types of of opportunities. One is 401k rollover. They also have a program called Fran Fund Select, which is a SBA backed loan, but it's a smaller amount. For our investment, it's up to $150,000, very low equity injection of less than 10%, and no collateral or personal assets pledged. There's certain requirements, but it is a pretty cool program that they can explore a little bit more, and I'm happy to provide the information on them, or you can just go to franfund.com.
Hi, and great question. Of course, Christine can provide you with finance company contact information. Here at Office Evolution, we work with 4 different finance companies. We also are on the SBA registry, so it is, as Kim said, an easier process to move forward with any of these companies. We work with all of the 4, Fran Fund, Benetrends, Guidant, and Bowfly, and I can provide that contact information for each of them. And as Kim said, we also do the IRA or the 401k rollovers, which is a common way to finance all or a part of your business expense.
Okay, thank you. I also have another question. Do you help them find the real estate?
And I'll go first this time. Yes,
sure,
we absolutely do. Your best friend in your area is a tenant rep commercial broker. We will provide the specifications on what to look for in a building site. They'll find the spaces. You'll do walkthroughs, and then we're holding your hand throughout that process, looking at floor plans as you initially do the work. When it's down to maybe you have your top 2 or 3, a member of our development team comes out, walks through the spaces with you, and helps you to determine pros and cons of the different locations, because it's a big decision to choose the right location.
And we have a similar program. We actually have a network of national brokers that we work with, and yes, they are all tenant represented. And we have them work on behalf of our franchisees to identify the laundry list of locations. We actually like to do our walkthroughs when the list is a little longer, and help the franchisee understand what to look for, especially if it's their first location. So we'll send somebody out to the market sooner, and then work with the broker and the candidate to identify the top 3. We will likely initiate an LOI for multiple locations and work through the negotiation process to narrow it through to a single location. I know retail is a little different than office space, so and it's really competitive right now, so it's good to kind of have a broader range of opportunities. But yes, to answer your question, we have very, very comprehensive site selection and lease negotiation support.
Christine, one other point that I wanted to add that I didn't say before, in Discovery Day, because we have 8 of these corporate locations, we are able to bring our franchisee candidates out to 5 different Office Evolution locations where they really can see the diversity of the buildings that work, meet the business center managers. And so when they leave Discovery Day, I just thought that was a good point, Kim. Typically a franchisee candidate wouldn't know what to look for, but because they've seen our centers, that helps them, in that process going forward.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you both. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I appreciate it. It is being recorded, so I will send the recording to everyone that was on and also the people that have signed up. And if you need anything at all, please get in touch with me. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank you. Bye.